question isn't whether Red Bull will retain Christian Horner, but if it might lose Max Verstappen.
Unfortunately, Formula One is a competitive business, and there's been obviously elements have looked to benefit from it, and that's perhaps the not so pretty side of our industries.
A bomb has exploded, but chill, it's on F1. Christian Horner has been on the headlines for quite a while now, and he is heading into this one too. Red Bull seems to have finally put a stop to all the whispers following the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, or so we've been told. Helmut Marko was looked into and cleared in a matter of days. Horner was cleared after an investigation, and Verstappen even appeared to have moved on. However, one participant was prepared for the current round and wasn't prepared to move on. Despite a lot of issues, Christian Horner, the leader of Red Bull's squad, can't still lose the internal conflict at Red Bull because of this individual. After winning both races in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Max Verstappen had a fantastic time with the Red Bull superstar and felt very satisfied and at ease. Not to mention that it was his second straight victory. Not only had he pushed friends and foes to the bottom of the hills, he had accomplished what could have been the biggest achievement of his career off the racetrack. The Red Bull team's closest and most trusted confidant, Helmut Marko, was permitted to remain. The Dutchman rescheduled Helmut Marko's return travel on his own plane, even though he was supposed to go with Christian Horner, to show just how much he supports Marko. Horner and his spouse, Jerry Halliwell, were forced to return home alone. Moreover, it's known that the victorious Dutchman, who possessed a powerful personality as well, was amazed by the show that his team manager put on in the paddock in Saudi Arabia. He raced about with his ex-Spice Girl, holding hands as he had done during the Bahrain race.
Red Bull aren't commenting on this. They've said that this is an internal matter, and they've actually said this all along, that this is an internal matter. They won't comment on it. But these are now reports that the woman who initially made those complaints of inappropriate behavior against Christian Horner, that she has been suspended. Now, we don't know that for sure in terms of verifying it. Sky News hasn't verified it.
Always looking for cameras to prove to the public that the allegations made against her by an employee that he had intimidated were not found. His spouse is also a constant source of support. He is not the criminal, he is the victim. On the other hand, individuals involved in the Horner event said that the performance could not have been better organized, even by a director. However, the controversy seems to have taken an unexpected turn. Yes, once more, F1 sources say that the Austrian minority of Red Bull GmbH, which consists of 49% shareholder Mark Mateschitz and CEO Oliver Minzlaff, has advised the Thai majority owners to leave Horner. One argument is that since the incident, there have been more calls from influential women's rights advocates in the US market for a boycott of Red Bull, which is crucial to the business. Second, the Thai Red Bull management fears that the worker will come clean in the next several days and retaliate against the internal investigation, which might not have been as impartial as supporters were led to believe. Despite the fact that Horner and Red Bull itself are reported to have paid the employees $700,000 and $300,000 respectively. But if there has already been a payment, why pursue it? The woman's identity and position were made public, along with some photos of her, by the trade journal Business of One. She plans to fight in an English civil court for her rights and reputation. Horner would then have to tell the whole truth. Thirdly, and this is absolutely amazing but real, the massive rock group U2 wants to write a song to help the woman. Her sibling is the son-in-law of The Edge, the renowned guitarist of U2. F1 sources say that U2 is thinking of penning a song called Don't Be Horny, Be Christian. In response to the issue, even Horner's Thai family, who have supported him wholeheartedly up until now, is worried about U2's immense power, since it may force Horner to withdraw before the next race in 2 weeks. One thing is certain, credible sources indicate that Horner looks to be losing the power struggle at Red Bull, will be made available prior to the next Australian race. Regardless, Max Verstappen would have secured a victory that won't be recorded in any F1 figures. In a few weeks, do you think Horner will be in Australia? Horner seemed to believe he would be present. And after impressive performances from Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, Horner was asked if Red Bull's entire team was focused in the same way. Verstappen did, in fact, say that he would not accept Marco leaving in a hypothetical situation. He had a succinct reply ready. Horner said, "We are concentrating on winning. We have that in Saudi Arabia, and we are good at it." That was how the season began for us. Although I am aware that there are a lot of speculations circulating, I don't believe the team is preoccupied. We work as a single unit. Much has been made about Helmut, but the truth is that he works for the parent corporation and not for Red Bull Racing or me. You can probably tell that our attention is on the future. We wish to continue our amazing winning run. Are there any issues pertaining to Verstappen? Max is doing fantastically. There are no conflicts, and he gets along well with the team. His ease of being in the garage is evident, and it shows in his success on the track. Max doesn't appear to be having any issues. As a result, Horner believes that things are stable in Britain. Everyone aspires to join the team. The team is greater than any one person. A spot is open for the next year, and I believe I have 16 drivers vying for it. With the pole position secured, Sergio Perez can only lose the seat. Max and I get along well, and he is concentrating on improving his performance on the track. The same holds true for us. I believe that other people have already spoken much too much. Horner went on. The group is a group. The crew includes both Max and Helmut. This team is led by me, and each member is vital to the group. Horner acknowledges that the reports about Marco surprised him. The squad was taken aback by the reports of a ban. There is no decision-making process going on around him. Since Helmut and the parent business are bound by contract, this was a dispute between them. We were not involved in that conversation. Since 1996, I have known Helmut, and he has been a key member of the Red Bull Racing team. His job has changed throughout time, and it is encouraging that at nearly 81 years old, he remains so driven. There is nothing wrong with my friendship with Helmut. Helmut is always frank, that much is true. Franz Vavic is one of our supporters, as is Oliver Mintzlaff. The CEOs are 3 in number. Horner remarked, "It was encouraging to see Oliver and Franz in Saudi Arabia to help us." After the Christian Horner investigation, many unanswered questions still exist. Why is this situation arisen after so many years of harmony among Red Bull's senior executives? Though he hasn't yet been succeeded, Horner is said to have hoped for a position in the team comparable to Toto Wolff's at Mercedes. After Matashit's passing in late 2022, there were rumors circulating that he and Marco were no longer in agreement and that a new dynamic had emerged between them. Tensions were boiling under the surface, and GmbH's investigation of Horner provided the catalyst to blow things up. And now that Horner has made it through and reclaimed his power, the rest of the situation will depend on other parties coming to the same conclusion.
Allegations involving a female colleague, Horner came prepared.
I'm the only one that has been named in this. So, of course, it's very trying. It's very challenging because when there's children involved, when there's families, parents, etc. involved, it's not pretty.
That is, assuming he is not removed before Australia as a result of fresh external pressure on his position. Will the people responsible for the numerous media leaks, which seemed to be an ongoing assault on Horner, be taken into custody? Can Max Verstappen agree to Horner staying in charge of the team? Will Horner's long-awaited team ownership stake be granted, guaranteeing him a role beyond that of a valuable employee? Right now, the most crucial question is whether or not Marco's demands for improvement will be implemented. After meeting with Mintzlaff in Saudi Arabia, he seems happy to stick with his current 3-year deal with GmbH for the time being. But is this dependent on a unified happening? After all, the driver market may become unstable if Marko were to abruptly decide to quit Red Bull, and it would be unclear if the Varpins would do the same. Would Max really abandon his strong team that wins championships because he is so devoted to Marko, as Horner becomes the center of attention and regains control over the storyline? The other characters in this drama seem forced to follow him, at least for the time being. Will one of the most potent F1 empires ever fall apart due to envy and animosity? Or will an uneasy truce between all sides continue long enough for relationships to mend? That's all, guys. Let us know your answers below and subscribe to our channel for more information. Until next time.